Okay, so Jeramie, tell us a little bit about what you do, how did you get into it?
So I'm a photographer. First off, this is super cool. Thank you for doing this. I know that pre-setting everything up, we were talking about how many videos you've done, your goals and all that. I'm just excited that you're out there doing this. It just helps all of us, you know? So I'm a professional photographer, wedding, portrait, and commercial photography. I like to push on that commercial side. I like to push on the more of like advertising. Ultimately, like my end game is to have some sort of magazine or company just put me on like $1 million a year retainer and say just shoot everything for us.
That's awesome.
That's
Okay.
what I would like to do. And then be able to move around. But I'm born and raised in Sparks, Nevada, Reno, Nevada. I was born at Washoe Valley. Washoe Med, Washoe Valley.
Now renowned.
I was born, now renowned. But if you knew that, then you've been here.
I've been here.
Right? If you know that. So, it's been fun. I mentor and train photographers. I shoot. We're in my studio now. I'm pretty much always in this little area doing stuff. It's been fun. It's been chill.
Awesome. Yeah, I see what you do. You've grown so much. And we've known each other, for like 2 dececades? Since
Maybe,
like
yeah.
2010?
Yeah, I was a massage therapist.
Over a decade.
Yeah. And it has to be because I started I started photography in 2009.
Okay.
I was
So
an
cool.
instructor at Milan Institute teaching essentials in massage therapy because I was a massage therapist. I want to say for like 3 years or something like that. So 2006, 2005.
So cool.
It's been a minute. It's
Yeah.
been cool. It's kind of cool to see like how everybody's gone and changed, because I was in my 20s then.
Yeah,
Super
completely
young.
different field too.
Right.
And then what got you into photography?
I bought a camera. That was it. Honestly, we were we have 4 kids, and we were going through our first birth, which was our second child. We adopted Jamie, our first, and then Ryan was being born. And I had this like point and shoot like Canon ELPH, and I was the guy that kind of walked around. I actually did it at massage school too when I was teaching, but I would walk around and just take pictures, random pictures. And we were about to give birth like 2 days before, and the camera broke. And so I was like, all right, I got $400. Let's go to Best Buy. And I went to Best Buy, talked to my homie Marcello, who actually shared the space with, weirdly enough, full circle, kind of coming around.
Yeah.
And he was the GM at the Best Buy at Legends. And he was like, dude, like, just buy a camera that you can change your lens with. And then I'm a nerd. So I went home and started taking pictures of a Corona bottle that was just on the table. And as I was taking pictures of this Corona bottle, I was like, these pictures are crap. Like, this camera's broken. Something's wrong. I'm going to return this camera tomorrow, because it was like 2 a.m. because we're waiting for the baby to come out.
Oh.
And then I went on a website called Flickr, found out that the camera had nothing to do with it. I was just a bad photographer. I didn't know what I was doing. And so then the nerd side came out. So I Googled, YouTubed, and tried to figure out how to make this camera work. I was able to shoot the birth, not great pictures, but was able to get something done. And then that inspired me to learn and better myself. And then my whole origin story, my hero versus villain story of photography is I contacted 5 photographers who are still shooting to this day, and I said, hey, I want to learn from you. They were all wedding photographers, all on Yelp, Top, whatever, and that's how I found them. And I shot them an email from my massage website and said, hey, I want to learn from you. Like, can I please learn from you? I'm a massage therapist. I'm trying to get into photography. In one way or another, they all told me to drop dead. They said, you didn't go to school for this. We have limited community or limited, competition in here. We're not going to train you to take our business. And at that time, I was like, that makes sense, But now looking back at it, very old school mentality,
Yes.
It's just not like I'm built on community over competition. I train and mentor
Same.
photographers. My job is when I see a photographer who's charging $500 for something I charge $10,000 for, it's not like, please leave, get away. You're killing the industry. It's how do I get you from that 500 up to 5,000, 6,000? What do I need to do to build you up? So then all of a sudden our ships are all the same tide, right? We're not just all getting crazy. So that's what it was. I mean, that's a short version of my origin story of those. And those photographers still shooting today, I still talk to them every once in a while, but they don't know that part of it. They don't know that they told me to drop dead.
They don't know that they did? They don't remember?
No, well, my email was like gotknots@charter.net. So it wasn't like, I didn't have like a signature or anything. It was just, hey.
So they don't know that was you? Wow.
To this day. And I do that on purpose. Like, I'll still talk to them, and I'll tell the story to everybody. Like, it's on my YouTube, it's on everything. I told a bunch of kids at Reed High School a couple weeks ago about this story, and I'll never tell these people.
Oh my gosh.
And hopefully they've changed. Like, I don't work with them, but like, you know, it's old school mentality if they want to keep going.
It's old school, yeah.
Very
And
old school.
it's a limiting mentality too, because it's not giving, doesn't give you back. It's an abundance
Right.
mentality, and there's abundance. I love that about you.
Yeah, I
love
agree.
that.
I mean, there's only so much that I can and want to do.
Right.
Any industry. I don't care what industry you are.
Right.
Like,
Yes.
you know, even Cutco, even companies that are supposed to last forever. But we know Cutco doesn't last forever. So we know that, you know, like, there's so many photo shoots that I can do for people, so many weddings I can do for people. I don't need to do all of them. My target wedding goal every year is 35 weddings, but I
Right.
charge $10,000 a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And so all I need is 35 people to say yes to me every year. And I'm cool. There's how many people getting married every year? I mean, what is it? 2022, I think there's like more weddings this year than there have been in 1 year since 1984. I want to say it's like
Amazing.
2.2 billion weddings happening this year
Ho,
due to
ho.
COVID and all that
Wow.
stuff. So
wow.
I only need 35 of that.
Oh my gosh.
That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you. I love that. So, when I thought of this, I thought of you first because you had done my photography pre-wedding.
Right.
And you did amazing.
Thanks.
And since then, I've met other photographers. There's so many in town, and
There's a
I
ton.
wanted to talk with you and then also highlight the other photographers. And I love your mindset as there's an abundance of business for everybody, and
Right.
your coaching, training, and lifting up mindset. So that being said, let's refocus again one more time on what are your specialties. You said wedding.
Right? So I call myself a wedding commercial and portrait photographer.
Okay.
Ultimately, my specialty is portraits, is people.
Okay.
Everything I do involves people of some sorts, unless I'm shooting for like a marijuana company or a product or something. I'll get a lot of products where I just bring it to the studio and they'll shoot creatively is what they want. But ultimately, I'm the guy that gets hired to do the lifestyle shots, to showcase a brand, maybe somebody putting on the shoe, putting on the watch, maybe a billboard for one of the hospitals or something where we're trying to showcase like a doctor putting a mask on a kid, or, you know, like stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
So portraits are my world. I can work with people a lot easier.
Uh-huh.
Not that landscapes are bad or anything. I just feel like I just get bored.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm not Ansel Adams. I can't go onto a top of like a mountain and shoot Tahoe, you know, like I just did a wedding, an elopement up in Tahoe, at Chickadee Ridge, and it was beautiful.
Oh,
But
that's
there were
so
people
cool.
there, and I was like, "Oh, cool!" So I got one shot for them because they were like, "Can we get just a shot of the basin?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's do that." Got the shot, and I was like, "Done." I'm like, "We'll edit and Photoshop it and make it pretty." But ultimately, yeah, I was just kind of people are my bag.
Nice.
That's what I'm into.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love this. So, this is a spontaneous question. Tell us about like a crazy experience that you had shooting, something like that was challenging
Right.
or extra fun, something extra memorable.
So I mean, there's nothing. That's hard. It's like the issue is like I deal with people. So if people are not excited about getting their portrait taken, which honestly nobody is, right? Everybody I talk to, they're like, we hate pictures. We don't want to, you know. And I'm like, cool. This is how I feed my family. But they'll come in, and my job is to turn them around. But I did do a shoot I did a wedding, and this was like, oh my God, let's say 2011. Let's say like very early in my career. I did a wedding at the Nugget, and it has a happy story at the end. I did a wedding at the Nugget. The mom hired me, and the Nugget doesn't do weddings. So there was like this little tiny chapel downstairs. Like think Reno
Didn't know they
Chapel,
did
right?
weddings,
Just
yeah.
think like that's what it is. Like I'd rather you just get married at a park at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Reno Chapel, super tiny. The mom hires me, and I don't know to communicate with the bride. I don't know to contact them, introduce myself, say, hey, I'm Jeramie. I'll be taking your pictures. Is there something you guys want? I didn't do any of that. I show up to the wedding, and they gave me the wrong time, so the wedding already started.
Oh no.
So like running in with my one camera, and I'm like, you know, don't know my exposure, don't know anything. And the bride didn't want a professional photographer there, ever. It was a surprise for her.
Oh.
So when the ceremony was over, you know, she didn't say anything at the ceremony, but we got out, and I was like, okay, let me take some pictures of you guys together. She's like, I don't want this.
Oh.
And I was like, what? And then the mom's like, no, you want this. I don't want this. And I'm sitting there like, well, what do I do? I'm like, I've been paid for this. And so ultimately we got the photos. To this day, I actually still talk to that couple through social media. The groom is a graphic artist, and he's amazing. And so it's weird because like I have to be in these situations where then I have to pull out of. So it's not necessarily something weird, but it was very difficult for me as a young entrepreneur, you know, who was still massaging at the time, who had a career, to come into this and being like, well, is this how it is? Like, is this what's supposed to happen? Like, people don't want me here. Whereas when I was a massage therapist, people paid to come in, and I made them feel good, and they would like, yeah, I'm so happy, thanks so much. So it's definitely, yeah, it was different. It was different.
So did you get photos of her? Or did
yeah, no, we got pictures. I mean, I was there for a couple hours. We got pictures. I always joke about this. My very first wedding, I charged $150 for. It was a wedding and engagement, 2 different sessions, 2 different days. I charged, so I think $75 each. The wedding was a 6-hour day.
Oh my God.
And so it was like $75 for a day, and it was a favor. And it was actually an old massage student who has recently remarried, and she's having a great life, and she's awesome. So I don't know if she even knows this story, but we did the wedding downtown Reno, and then this reception, which I followed them to, was at King's Buffet.
Oh, okay.
And it wasn't, oh my God, it's a Chinese buffet. But the funny thing now that I think about it, and I like this story, is because I don't even think they reserved, there's a banquet room in the back, just like think of a Denny's, and like the back room just open.
Okay.
We all just walked to that back room at King's Buffet and just sat down, and they put a cake down, and that was their reception. It was like, what
and
if
the
that
wedding, the marriage didn't last then?
That one didn't, and you know, I don't know why. I actually ended up shooting Elise's second wedding. I shot her wedding again.
Nice.
She's awesome. But yeah, it was just funny to think about, and I think I told her this story too, and I was like, did you guys even like plan it there, or did you guys just show up, or what? Like, we just showed up, and I'm like, what if it was booked?
Wow.
Like, what was your game plan? And then King's Buffet was super happy, and we had to go up and pay like the $8.99 per person kind of thing. But yeah, it was cool.
Wow, that's very memorable.
Yeah.
Wow. Very cool. Thank you. So let's see, what else? What other things do you want to share?
Well, what do you think about the community in Reno? So you're not a photographer,
No.
right? I know you're doing this to build your brand, to build your knowledge, to build stuff, and I love this. And hopefully all your audience doesn't know me, and then they're like, oh, cool, there's another photographer in town. What I want to know is, what do you think when I say I'm a photographer? What's the photography mentality that's going on in your head when you have to do stuff like that?
So I think photography is a must. So if anyone can fit it into their budget for weddings, for headshots, definitely for property shoots, for if you're selling property.
Right. Yeah, because that's your world.
It's something that's just should be in the budget.
Right.
Especially for, it's for big times like weddings. And then another big one is just a family photo shoot, like a regular one to show
Once
the
a
family
year,
grow.
Right? I mean, there's photographers that have different price points, different whatever, and it's not even about the point of higher price points or what you're spending. It's more about having those memories. Consistency is the key. So like I've priced myself at a way where I'm an a la carte photographer, meaning that, like, old school. So basically I charge for my time. You get me for 1 hour, whatever. Everything goes into a gallery, then you purchase what you want. So it's not about the $600-700 for the shoot, even though the photographers we use, that's what we do. We hire them, and we're like, we want them all. I do have an offer for that, but like, the goal is just getting more shoots done, right? But as just a normal guy who's selling my house right now, we're right now in the process of buying a new house and selling our house. Okay. So we had a company come in, and I did not do it. We had a company come in and shoot our house, drone our house, and all that stuff. They did amazing. My wife and I were going through Zillow for the last 3-4 months, and the pictures that were like of somebody's cell phone, a realtor just taking pictures of somebody's cell phone, I'm like, this is crap. I'm like, they're not investing into the photography, which, the real estate photography market is it's cheap, right? It's $150 to $200, 2-day turnaround time or 1-day turnaround time. Scares the crap out of me. So I don't shoot that stuff. I have teams that do it. I'll send my team out to be like, hey, can you do this? There's a person that wants this, right? But my turnaround time is not that fast. Like, I have a life, But
so that's what they're doing?
Oh my God, that's what it is, right? So even with ours, they shot our house, and it had to be done and up on Zillow the next morning. So 35 images done, and that's how it is, right? You want to sell your house, you want to push it fast. I totally get it. Yeah. I'm not the photographer for you, but the guy that did it did amazing. Yes. Got the photo. He shot it, went home that night, uploaded it, edited, sent it to the realtor. Realtor put it on Zillow. Done. By the time we woke up, it was done. That's what they do. He gets paid to do that, right? It's just not me, and I'm okay referring that stuff out. So, but if a realtor doesn't take the time to even do that, and they're just doing iPhone pictures, and they're just doing like, you know, even just like a lame Instagram live video where they're walking around, hey guys, here's a house, we're gonna have an open house tomorrow. I just go, if it's not worth it for you, for your commission, to put extra money into this, then what's it worth it for us to even go check it out or look at it? And that's really how I feel, not as a photographer, just as a dude.
Yeah.
Right? You go to a restaurant, if they have crappy, I'm Asian, so like, you know, I go to Asian restaurants all the time, and they always have those crappy pictures, and I already know the food's good, which is fine, but like if I go into any restaurant and I just see like a phone picture plastered on a wall, I'm like, oh, that looks stupid.
That
like
looks
it's
gross.
not gonna I'm not gonna eat here. Like,
Okay, separate note, what's your favorite Asian restaurant?
Vietnamese, so oh my god, Golden Flower.
Okay,
for pho.
Yeah.
Yeah, crappiest service ever, super dirty, but delicious. It's so good. It's so good. And then we've been eating a lot of we do a lot of sushi.
I love sushi.
And we've been doing a lot of ramen. EG over in South Reno, we've been doing ramen. Yeah.
Okay.
I like them because of their ramen, but again, they're, you know, it's okay. And the service is okay. I'm a huge service person.
I like service.
I came from like the, you know, bartending service industry in the past. So
favorite sushi place?
we've been going to Kisho.
Okay, I haven't been there.
Kisho, that's how it's spelled, Kisho. Okay. And I actually called it Kisho for a long time. And my wife's like, I think it's Kisho. And I'm like, that doesn't sound right. It's at Legends, so it's close to where we live. So we might not be going there anymore just because it was close. But JJ's and Sparks is probably like my favorite. And they're next to Safeway. It used to be Sushi Time a long time ago in Sparks. Okay. Off of like Bering and Vista-ish, that area. But yeah, I mean, isn't Reno Sushi all the same?
Yeah, I
like
don't
they're all
know.
the same.
I always go to Sushi Pier. My friend owns it, and they just do beautiful, creative things. But I like to know and try everything.
Yeah, I mean that's what we want to look for. We want to look for that because like every sushi place I go to, I literally is the same thing: the Reno roll, the Philly roll, the Rainbow roll, and it's like all the same stuff. And you know, like Atlantis has really good sushi, but I just don't want to pay their prices.
Oh yeah, it's been a while since I've been there.
Yeah, it's just it's Atlantis, but it's good. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much.